Chris Elder, thanks for coming on Nightbreed, man. Good to chat.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. So Despise You's coming to Oz soon, but if it's all right, I wouldn't mind going way back to some of the '90s, that sort of thing, before we get into the current what's going on with you guys.
Yep, that's fine.
Cool. So back in '92, I think you and Phil did a death and black metal radio show, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the hour of the goat.
Yeah, cool. So how'd
Yeah.
you get involved in that?
Um, I mean, both of us were into like that underground black metal, death metal stuff, especially like the all the shit that was coming out of the UK, and there was a ton of it in LA and the States also. And he was going to school at LMU, and there's a station called KXLU, and at night they did classical music, but during the day it was all punk and whatever, So it was a pretty influential radio station for the States. I mean, they broke bands like Chili Peppers and Nirvana and Soundgarden, all those bands. They were like the premier college station or whatever. And we hit up the program director if we could do like an underground death black metal show, and he let us do it. So that's what we did. There was a bunch of shows that, as far as like the punk and power violence stuff that kind of predated us, that were like super important to the scene or whatever. And we just kind of got our the death black metal show. They had never had like a black death metal radio show, so we did it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And
Yeah.
then so '94 Despise You kicks off, right? What prompted you to kickstart that?
Um. So we had the radio show. And we used to have a bunch of people just from the scene. They would come up and hang out when we were playing records and whatever. And so we met people through that show, and then we decided to start a band. And that band, the Despise You, came out of the meeting people that were coming up to the radio show, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what was the writing like back then? Like, is it mostly you kind of writing riffs, or is it a bit more of a collective thing?
Yeah, everything was super collective. Everybody just kind of wrote riffs at practice, and we just built songs off of that. And then I put the lyrics on it, and it was everybody contributed, musically.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. And back then you were running the Pessimizer label as well, right? Like, how did all that get started? I run a very, very small, non-profitable label, but you had like I
Mhm.
Hate God and some great bands on there. How'd you get started doing that?
Um, it started from I was doing a fanzine, and then I wanted to put out a record to put in the fanzine. So I met up with one of my old coworkers, Mark Theodore, who had Theologian Records. I worked with him at a skate shop
Oh,
in
cool. Yeah.
down in the South Bay, and he put out Pennywise and some bigger bands. Like they weren't big at the time, but they turned out to be big. But he had the distribution and the knowledge of mastering records and whatever. So we kind of just hooked up on that first release, which was the Pessimizer fanzine #4, and then it had a 7-inch in it, which was 16 split with Fresh American Lamb, and then we just started doing a bunch of shit after that.
Mm. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's back recording Despise You back then as well. They're really I don't know, energetic live recordings. There's a recorded live, or are you tracking it? Like, how did you kind of capture that?
Yeah, all the music for like the West Side Horizons and the Agoraphobic Nosebleed split. I mean, everything we done is recorded live. except for the vocals. So all the music's recorded live. There was no overdubbing, and then the vocals were recorded like the next day. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, you can feel it like you're in the room. It's a cool sound.
Yeah, it was a small rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so if you don't mind talking about it, 1996, what happened? Did everyone just sort of get busy, or was there, you know, how come Despise You had a bit of a pause there?
Well, the band was never. No one was ever thinking about the band being like something long term.
Sure.
So we just would get together and write songs, and we'd record, put shit out, and then whatever. You know, like we weren't like hanging out on the weekends, and it just wasn't even like a thing. You know, so I think after we recorded the Possessed to Skate tracks for this Possessed to Skate compilation, we just we didn't really, we just went our own separate ways. Of like the singer Lourdes Hernandez had moved away to go to college, and we just kind of just were doing our own thing, you know. And then that's it, you know. There was no like breakup or whatever. We weren't even like trying to do anything further at that point, you know.
Yeah, sure. So what prompted the you guys to get back together? 2007.
So Chris Dodge, he played in Spaz. He bumped into our Phil, the Despise You guitar player, excuse me, at a party, and told him like, hey, we should get the guys together and see about writing some new songs. And that's kind of how it happened, you know. And they asked me like, hey, you know, I want to get together, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then we got together and we started writing songs for the Agoraphobic record, The Split. And that's kind of he kind of sparked us to do new stuff. I mean, the lineup at that point now is totally different. So yeah, new girl singer, new drummer, new bass player. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think like writing now, because it's you're going to take it to the stage, is it different to how it was back then, like the process and everything?
No, it's the same. I mean, the writing's the same. Yeah, we do everything the same. Record it the same, you know. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So away from Despise You for a little bit, what are you listening to lately? What kind of bands are you checking out?
I mean, I don't really listen to a ton of aggressive stuff.
Okay.
Really much, you know, like I listen to the same stuff I always listen to, which is like electro funk and Chicano oldies, and you know, like Black Sabbath, or I don't know, Steely Dan, you know, shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, that's Grandma. Cool.
Yeah. Had a visitor, sorry.
Yeah, that's cool, man. All good.
I'm running an orphanage here.
That's cool. You said earlier you're working at a skate shop. Do you still skate?
I here and there. I've got a couple torn ligaments in my right knee, so I know my limits right now. I just haven't had the time off to really get that surgery and get it taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Did you hurt him skating or something else?
I actually heard it playing basketball.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, because I probably played basketball as much as I was skating back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, we're all getting a little bit older, right? It's a bit harder to get back up again when you fall, you know.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, May, you guys are coming to Australia. Have you been over this way before?
No, none of us have been over there before.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, you picked a good time of year. Like it's still hot, but cooling down a little. It's beautiful, man. I think you'll dig it, you know. Yeah. And you guys are playing with Truth. Have you checked them out? They're a great band.
No, no, I haven't yet. Just been emailing with one of the guys, but yeah, I'm gonna check them out.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Awesome, man. And what have you got like
We'll
set
get, well,
list?
I'm sure we'll get an ass load of them on the road. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what have you got set lists together? Like you guys getting ready, jamming, that kind of thing?
What's that?
You got your set list together. What kind of things are people
Oh
gonna
yeah,
hear? Yeah.
yeah. We're doing a lot of songs, and I don't know. It's a I think I don't even know 25, 30 songs.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, a bunch of songs. So everybody can hear the hits.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. And other than shows, have you guys got plans to for any other, recordings or releases, anything like that?
Yeah, we're just fucking around with some songs a little bit right now. I mean, trying to just get ready. We got a couple of LA shows coming up and then Australia, the Australia tour. So we're not really concentrating on new songs, just getting the old songs down,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but we will. We have a few we're working on. I'm not sure what it will be. Maybe some sort of split record, split 7-inch or something.
Yeah, nice. Oh, cool,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. Cool. Well, look, Chris, thanks heaps for your time. I'll let you get back to your orphans, and
Yeah, man.
yeah, been good to chat, man. I'm sure you have a good time over here, man. Have a good one.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, man. See ya.